Read, your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
Come on. No, wait.
Across for what?
So I can take you off of child support. Don't you want to get taken off of child support?
Take me off for child support?
Yeah.
You want
See?
some?
No, I'm not.
So you want to be next take me off for child support?
Yeah, come on. Don't you want to get taken off of child support? Ain't you tired of paying that shit?
I am tired of paying it, but why though? Like, why now though? Like,
because Trump finna be in office, and you know what I'm saying? He finna make it to where you can't file taxes if the other parent is paying child support. So I need you to come down here. I'd rather have the taxes than that motherfucking child support.
Wait a minute.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
You know what I'm saying?
trying to run
you don't
stuff.
pay
You trying
shit
to
in
run
child
stuff.
support.
Oh,
I feel
no.
like that ain't fair. You don't pay shit in child support like that.
Also,
Child support ain't shit.
I knew it was something.
Come on, we can bust
I
the
knew it was
taxes
something.
down.
No, I'm cool. You know something? I think that taxes sound better than me paying.
Come on, man, bro.
No, don't touch me. No, hell no.
That ain't fair. I have them all the time, bro. I have them all the time. I spend more money than fucking child support, bro.
I would have tried to work something out with you, but the only reason why you here because you want to get taxes. Guess who got taxes now? Me. Yeah.
Man, get
So,
your
you
foul
keep that
ass
child
on,
support,
bro.
man. Hey, I'm not going to no courthouse with you. That's your ass.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next thing that's getting decided on. I'm taking. I'm gonna fight against that.
I get them taxes.
We gonna all come together and we gonna go to the Supreme Court with that shit.
Let me tell you something.
Because that shit is not right.
Hey, let me tell you something. Thank God for Donald Trump. Now get out my doorstep.
Man, shut your ass.
The business, motherfucker.
Welcome to the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. Now, Donald Trump, once again, in the White House, the bull in the china shop. This is going to be a funny one. It's funny in a way because I got to give credit where credit is due. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like his policies. But whenever a president, even the ones I don't particularly too much care for, gets something right, you got to give credit where credit is due. Now, I'm going to give you two sides of this argument. And for those of you on iHeartRadio listening to my voice right now, you got to understand that this has been already it's just January. And Donald Trump is shaking things up all around the world. Denmark, he's trying to go after Iceland. He's trying to turn one of the Canadian provinces into a United States, one of the states. This man is off the chain. Of course, he stopped all financial aid going out to other countries. He's starting to deport thousands of immigrants. He's talking about doing tariffs. It's about to get real savage in America. And for those of you who voted for him, you got to understand that you voted against your own interests. And I'm going to say it like this. I think this is a good thing when it comes to the child support. Number one, when you grow up in certain hoods around America, you oftentimes see child support going to women who use it for their other kids by other men, and they constantly say their child support is not enough. You often see some of these women don't work, so they can't get income taxes anyway. So instead of calling the father and having the father carry the children on child support, they'll go get their uncle, their aunt, friends, family members to carry the children and get $1,000 back off of each child that they carry. You see, what this is finna do, people, it might not happen right away, but what this is finna do is finna cause women to be more cautious of who they have kids by. It's gonna cause women to keep their legs closed. it's going to cause women to stay with the father of the kids, because I'm gonna tell you, income tax can get up into the thousands. But some of you men need to hear this and understand that there's gonna be a judge somewhere in America who follows some kind of feminist doctrine, who's gonna try to be slick. And we all know, once a judge sets precedent over a case, other women can file for that precedence, just like in any other case. Now let me explain to you men what's about to happen. Some of these men are going to start getting income taxes, and there's going to be some slick judge somewhere, you know, some Hillary Clinton type with a pantsuit on, who's going to say, well, we can bring him back in court and raise his child support because he's getting more income now. Understand how this is going to be played out. They're going to let Donald Trump get his rocks off, but there's going to be a judge somewhere in America, like Texas or Oklahoma or Mississippi. There's going to be a judge somewhere in America who's going to try to circumvent this by raising a man's child support because he gets the taxes now. And it's going to set precedent. So if this law passes, which I don't think it has already passed, I think it was just a tweet, and I think it was an executive order written. But if this thing goes into full effect, it's going to be a ripple effect over the next 15 to 20 years. And you're going to start to see a change in the dynamics of the men and women and the family structure and the relationship between men, women, and their kids. Child support court is going to change. And I'm going to tell you, I've never agreed with the whole child support system. Not saying that fathers shouldn't take accountability and step up and help, but the child support system has become a monopoly, because you got to understand that when these women get food stamps and they get Medicaid and Medicare for their kids, all of that child support money is not going to that woman, because child support court is a business and people work in that industry. They got to get paid. So what's happening is, when your child support goes to the state and your local government, that money is getting divvied out to these people first, and then it goes to the woman. Some of your money is not even reaching your kids, but everything falls back on the father. So I got to give credit where credit is due. And, you know, even though I don't like Trump in this aspect of it, the whole child support thing, where the father gets a little kickback from paying child support, he gets his taxes, I think this is a good thing. But it's not just the fathers neither. If the mother's paying child support, that mother can go and file taxes. So I'm gonna give you both sides of the story for people who are concerned about it, and let you make your own judgment. Let's get into the video.
The business,
The Daily Read, your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
Law. I don't know if this is true or not, but I just saw this guy talking about how whoever is paying the child support is going to be the one that gets to claim the child on their taxes. So if you're a single mom or a single dad and you're not the one paying the child support, you're not going to get to claim them on your taxes. He said this is the law that Trump is trying to pass. That is insane to me, especially if you're a single parent. Like, what's the point in them even paying child support if they're going to take all the tax refund, especially for the people who have multiple children? I'm a single mom. I get child support, and my son's dad does not even see him at all. It's been 4 years since he's been in his life. He's not been in my son's life since he was 6 months old. My son's almost 5. I'm already barely making it as it is. Like, literally, paycheck to paycheck still, unfortunately. Hopefully TikTok will change that, though. Has anybody else heard anything about this? Because that would be the worst thing ever.
See, a woman like this right here, people, is the type of woman who has let the system replace the man in her life with a paycheck. And she's not covered. Everybody know what that means when I say she's not covered. These women have felt for the last 20 or 30 years that now that we got a check, we don't need the whole man. We can throw the man out the window. And now a man can't tell me nothing. Just give me some money and I'll do whatever I want to do. So now it's a big deal. You got to understand how this is being played. It's a big deal now. You see, a woman like this, if this law would have been put in effect 10, 20 years ago, and she had that baby by that guy, and she knew that income tax was coming to him, she probably would have kept him around. Because now we got more money in the household. But see, when she was getting that check, that child support check, I ain't got to listen to you. All of that, I want a man who's a provider and a leader, that's garbage. These women don't believe in that. They say it out their mouth, but you got to understand what that whole I need a leader and provider is. They done changed it. They changed the definition of it. A leader and a provider means I need a trick. Get that through y'all head. And I'm talking to my men out there, my men all across America. Get that through your head. I need a leader and provider is word for I need a trick. Because if they really needed a leader and provider, the man who they gave their freshest squeeze to, the man who they gave a baby to, because the ultimate thing you can give a man is his seed, a child. And a woman gives that to a man, that's very important. And for her to receive a check but not have to listen to that man, that goes against everything. So now there's finna be a balance. It's finna be a balance that comes back. And I hope this don't stop. I hope something else happens. Because just giving men an income tax check is not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough to bring men back into the household. Because these women are saying, I want to raise my kids how I want to raise them. So I don't need you. Just give me a check, some money. I don't need you. Now, she just told a story about how the man in her life that gave her children hasn't seen the kids in 4 years. Why? You mean to tell me you ain't reached out to this man not one time and said, hey, do you want to see your kids? I think they need a father in their life. She ain't reached out to this man at all. I'm not saying he's not at fault. I'm not saying that, because he could be reaching out to them too. But she has access to them kids. And as long as she was getting that check and being able to file income tax, she didn't care about reaching out to that man. Let's continue on.
Please let me know what you've heard or what you guys think. Repost this for me and engage, comment. That would be amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Come on. No, wait. So I can take off the child support. Don't you want to get taken off the child support?
Taking off the child support?
Yeah.
What?
See? No, I'm not.
So you want to...
You are not the one paying the child support. You will not get the tax return for your child. How do you guys feel about that? This is all allegedly, I guess. We got to see till everything goes through. But this is the talk on the town that Trump is talking about making. And you know what this means, guys. Single mothers, I'm talking to you out there. This one is going to be directed at you. Okay? Most single mothers, we know women run the world. Women are running it. Especially single moms. Shout out to all my single moms. They work so hard.
I can't stand guys like this. This is the average panda bear. I call these panda bears. They pander to these women. Instead of him saying, hey, you gave a man a baby. Work it out with him. If you can't work it out with him, why did you give him a baby? Did he beat you? No. Did he abuse you? No. I'm just not happy. This guy's talking to women like Tia Mowry. You see, she famously said she graduated from her marriage. Now this woman got custody of them kids, expecting her ex-husband to pay her child support. So now he can go and get income tax now. She just said it. I graduated. I look at marriage like a graduation thing. Are you joking? And it's guys like this right here, the panda bears of America, that keep this bullshit going. Let's get back on it.
They're working 2 jobs. They're taking their kids to the soccer practice.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
I get so far.
That Trump is talking about making. And you know what this means, guys. Single mothers, I'm talking to you out there. This one is going to be directed at you. Okay? Most single mothers, we know women run the world. Women are running it. Especially single moms. Shout out to all my single moms. They work so hard. They're working 2 jobs. They're taking their kids to the soccer practices. They're buying the clothes. They're keeping their kids happy, keeping Christmas on the table. Even though there's a lot of selfish husbands out there who are not paying child support, barely paying child support, or, okay, they are paying child support, but now they get to file your kids on their tax return.
To allow whoever is paying for child support to be able to claim the children during tax season. The problem is the child support that some men pay single mothers is never enough. And the only time she gets to finally catch up financially is during tax season, when she can claim her children and get a tax credit. As a former single mother.
Now, this woman says the money is never enough. But you got to realize something. That same man you gave that baby by, you gave that baby to, if you stay with him, there's 2 checks coming into the household. Think about this. You gave a man a baby and then ran off with the baby. So now you saying the money ain't enough. The money would be enough because, number one, he would only be paying for 1 household if y'all was together. Now he got to pay his rent because he don't live with you. Then he got to give you money after paying his rent to you for kids that you gave him. Are you joking? Let's continue on.
Myself, my ex-husband used to give me $300 for 2 children. $300 for 2 children was never enough to pay rent, utilities, to buy clothes, uniforms, school supplies, food.
Listen to what she just said. Her ex paid her $300 a month. Okay, that's not enough money for a child, for children. Okay. But she pays about $1,600 a month in rent. He pays about $1,600 a month in rent. That's like the average. $1,200 to $1,600 is like the average. Okay. So now, if he gets a new girlfriend or a new wife, not only does he have to take care of his household, but he has to give you money because you ran off and now you taking care of a household on your own. But if y'all would have stayed together, there's only one rent. Not two. There's only one rent. One.
The amount of expenses was endless. And the only time I got a break was during tax season, when I would get a tax break for each child. The parent that keeps the children is the parent that has the most expenses. You can't tell me that keeping a child for 2 days is the same as keeping the children 5 days a week. This new law is devastating to single mothers. I know single mothers who the only time they get to take a vacation, the only time they get to buy clothes or even a car is during tax season. And now the Trump administration is taking that away.
Trump just tweeted, apparently, I am a former child support attorney for the state, and man, do I have thoughts about not only this video, but about President Trump's tweet and proposed new law. For those of you that are new here, my name is Courtney Driscoll. I am a former child support attorney for the state of Oklahoma, but now I own my own law firm, primarily practicing in family law, and I especially love child support cases due to my background and experience prosecuting child support law. So for those of you that don't know, Donald Trump issued a tweet this past weekend that said that one of the laws that he wants to put into place would allow any parent that is currently paying child support to file that child on their own taxes for that calendar year. The way that's typically handled now is we just alternate the years. So for example, let's say I represent mom, she has sole custody, dad's over there, he just has visitation, so he's paying child support. We will alternate so that my client gets to claim the child on their taxes during even years, dad gets to claim them during odd years. Now, some language that I will typically put in the order as well will state that if dad in this scenario is behind on his child support payment, if he doesn't make 12 full payments for that calendar year, he waives his right to get to claim the child on the taxes because he's not current on his child support. That I stitched said, well, I don't think it's fair. If you have one parent that's making all these payments throughout the year, why should the other parent get to claim that child on their taxes? Well, I can give you numerous reasons. One good reason is child support is just the bare minimum that it takes to raise a child. Whatever a parent is receiving in child support, I promise you, it's not enough. Ask any single parent out there. And that's assuming that they're actually making the child support payments.
Again, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? I'm going to go back to the Tia Mowry situation. Let's go back to that situation. She graduated from her marriage, right? Now, she has to pay rent wherever she's living. Her ex-husband has to pay rent. So, what are you trying to say? You trying to say because a woman wants to live on her own with her kids and do whatever the hell she want without a man being the leader of her household, that man's supposed to live on the streets? The reason why, quote unquote, men pay the bare minimum is because a judge is thinking logically. A judge is saying, ma'am, this man has to live. He has to pay rent. He has to pay utilities. Because when y'all was together, it was one utility. When y'all was together, it was one rent. But you decided to graduate from your marriage. So now you forcing this man to go out here and find him another place. I want y'all to think about that for a minute. That's diabolical.
paying the full amount and they're paying it on time. I can assure you, most of the time, that
I've announced that if fathers are paying child support, moms can't claim the kids on their tax returns, and fathers get to claim and get the tax credit for having the child. I'm torn on this one. You guys are gonna have to help me out in the comments. In just a second, I'll walk over to the comments and help me out. I'm torn with this one because I think in a certain way, it kind of helps. It moves bringing families together one step closer, moves us a little bit closer to that, right?
Exactly.
But on the other hand, I'm saying moms have the kid, right? They've got custody of the kid. Father is paying his $600-700 or whatever. Maybe he's not physically there. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But part of me says moms deserve that money. Moms deserve that credit. Moms are the ones getting kids up, taking them to school. Moms are the ones buying the backpacks. Moms are the ones there kissing knees and praying over, different things. So I'm torn on this one. Y'all help me out. I'm walking over to the comments. Let's go to the comments. Tell me what you think. All right.
So they say this new law that Trump is making is crazy, but I think it's great. Trump new child support law will be crazy. Basically, if you put somebody on child support, you will no longer be able to claim that child on your taxes. The only person who is paying child support can. So you either choosing between child support or placing that child on your taxes. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some fathers, there are some men, because those are not fathers, who do not do nothing and absolutely nothing for their children. Now, those men should definitely be on child support, and the mother still should be allowed to claim the child on her taxes. But there are a lot of women who only have children for child support. There you go. You either get your child support with no taxes, without being able to claim on your taxes, or you get the taxes with no child support. Which one you want? Look at Trump. My boy, Uncle T, in office doing his thing like he did last time. Good to see you back, my boy, and TikTok.
And it is only day one in office, and Donald Trump has signed an executive order called the Child Support Reform Act, in which he is making changes at a federal level to the child support system. Is this executive order perfect? No. Does it solve everything? No. But it does more to help fathers or child support payers, which are predominantly fathers, than any other federal act has done in years. Part 1 is income-based adjustment, so that child support is more closely aligned with an individual income. So those individuals that are low-income payers will suffer less of the financial burden. Part 2 will cap arrears. So those that fall behind on child support, there'll be a cap on the amount of interest that can be applied to keep them from going into insurmountable debt. Part 3 is compliance incentives. So those individuals that consistently meet their child support demands, they'll be able to apply for tax relief and benefits. The 3 previous parts of the executive order benefited the child support payers, so in a lot of cases the fathers. But the 4th and final part benefits the acceptor or the receiver of the child support, and it is streamlined in enforcement, so that it'll make it easier for those receiving child support to collect it through an automated system. In addition to this executive order, Trump is now making it so that the individual that is paying the child support is the individual that gets to claim the child on their taxes, meaning that whoever pays gets the child tax credit, which is how it should have always been. If you're paying a lot of money to the other person, why should you not reap the child tax benefits when they don't have to pay taxes on that child support? This is just a start. Because when's the last time you saw conversations happening at a federal level regarding the child support system or the child custody system? I can't remember a time it's ever happened. But this means that now there's in the family court that we can start addressing the problems within the child support system. It starts small for it to get big, and we've got a starting point now. This is a good future for a lot of dads out there. And so,
or they decide to quit, or whatever they decide, they end up with a child in the middle of all this. A woman can take her ass down to the Department of Human Services and file child support on a percentage of the man's wages, right? he don't got no choice but to pay them. They go to court, they have a court order for him to pay so much money. But inside of the court order is no order for visitation rights. So when the father said that he want to see his child, it's up to the mother now if she wants to let him see his own child. That's one law that needs to be changed for so many reasons. You need to let the judge figure out if he's unfit to see the kid, if he's a drug addict, alcohol, or whatever. That's also a judgment. Other than that, because some of y'all, the mothers, are drug addicts and all kind of shit too. But you drawing child support and buying it on alcohol and drugs and all kind of other shit. Children hungry, nappy headed, out stealing and crawling. Everybody wanting them. Same thing. You unfit too. There's so many things I can say about this, but if the judge can order child support, they also can order visitation rights. I hope they change. Number 2, it's going to make a lot of people mad. Every woman, whether married, separated, single, or whatever she calls herself, before a man can sign the birth certificate, it has to be a DNA test done.
I want to say something about that. That's the next thing needs to happen. Because at least I think it's 30 or 40% of the children that's tested are not even the father's kids. That's another thing that needs to happen. You see, this is finna be a snowball effect. They started with this, but there's finna be some more coming down the pipeline. And what's finna happen is a lot of these women are finna find out real quick that, man, put it this way, it's always been a saying in the community that it's cheaper to keep her. And when men say that, what they're saying is, if I divorce her, it's gonna be a major problem. So now the rabbit got the gun. So now that's finna put a stop to a lot of this. I'm unhappy. I graduated from my marriage. He just wasn't doing enough. You see, women that say he just wasn't doing enough, those are the women who look on social media and see how other women are living and want that lifestyle. And then you got these panda bears, you got these panda bears out here that ride with this. It's about to get real serious. It ain't over with.
Yes, that's what I said. Married, Christian, ushers, deacons, preachers, whoever you is, every child that comes into this world and a man has to sign the birth certificate needs a DNA test before we can validate that you are the father. Because we got so many children and so many men raising families that they know motherfucking well ain't none of them kids that man. They ain't that man child. I'm just trying to tell you, it's gonna save a lot of people some heartache and pain. Y'all motherfuckers better start getting DNA tests on these children. I'm talking about married folks and everything. Because anybody can get it. Oh, fine. There's some mad folks this morning. I don't care nothing about it. Because it is what it is, So some of y'all, the business.
As I was saying earlier, Donald Trump is a bull in the china shop. He's about to take a wrecking ball to everything. And he's not doing it out of the love in his heart. He's doing it out of chaos. What comes after chaos? Order. Usually when a chaotic president is in office, there's a non-chaotic president that comes along after him. We seen it happen when Trump was in office the first time. And then Joe Biden got in office. Everything went kind of back to normal. And now he's in office again. And this time while he's in office, Donald Trump is not about to put a whole bunch of Mike Pences around him. He's not finna do that. Because you can believe that he done learned from the first time. Donald Trump is finna put a whole bunch of yes men around him. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be a whole lot of people mad about what's finna come down. A whole lot of people is gonna be mad. And I want to talk about this whole him trying to make Canada a part of the United States and trying to get Iceland. Y'all got to understand what's going on. Most of those countries that he's talking about bringing into the United States, he's trying to bring fresh, new, white blood. Listen carefully. This is not a conspiracy theory. He didn't go and say we're gonna make Puerto Rico a state. He could. Puerto Rico is too Latino and too black. He didn't say, why don't we go and make the DR or the Virgin Islands official United States. Right now, those countries are territories. They're not fully states. They're not full states. He's not doing that because he don't want black and Latino blood. It's already too much of it. So he's looking north to Canada. Does that mean Canada doesn't have blacks? Yes, it does. Does that mean Canada doesn't have other races? Yes, they do. But you got to understand, the vast majority of people that live that far north are white people. You got to look at the pattern. Who in the hell wants to go all the way to Denmark and make Denmark a part of the United States? Ain't nothing in Denmark but white people. It's a few blacks go up there, smoke a little weed, because I think they got a red light district and all of that going on up there. But the vast majority of people up there are white. White people. He's trying to bring new white blood into America and blend it. I want to say something to you Latinos. Latinos for Trump. And this is very important. Y'all need to really, really, really hear this. Really understand this. He don't care about you. Blacks for Trump. Y'all might like the chaos that Donald Trump is putting down on America, but he don't like you. Make no mistake about it. I give credit where credit is due when it comes down to this whole child support thing. But I don't have no illusions that this man care about black and brown people. He doesn't. And you shouldn't either. You Latinos are finding out real quick that he doesn't care about you. I was looking at a video today. I was going to do a video on this. I'll probably do a video on this next week. But there was some Latinos who are scared. Latinos who actually voted for Trump. Let me tell you why. Because when we black people in America and we American citizens go anywhere in the world, we treat it like gods. We treat it good. Make no mistake about it. When those people come here to America, they don't consider themselves black and brown. They consider themselves white. The Indians, when we go to India as black people, they love us over there. But when Indian people come here, they hang with the white people. Look at Vivek Ramaswamy. I might be butchering his name. When the Latinos, when we go over to Latin America as black people, they love us in Latin America. They love our style. They like our music. They love us over there. But when Latinos come here to America, they act like white people. They hate us. Asian people love us to death. We go over there to the Philippines and we go over there to Thailand. When them people come here, they act like white people. That's the reason why Latinos voted for Trump. Because they wanted to jump on the white bandwagon so bad. But now that he's in office, he's showing you Latinos, he don't give a fuck about you. Nothing. This is sad. It's sad. But it's real. It's happening. Can't turn back the clock. You can only go forward. Until next week. This is the Daily Read.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Bring in the business.